Hey everybody, G-Force41 here with another PGA Tour 2K23 golf course design video. This is another episode of Is It Casuals Worthy? Today we are going to the Dangled Duckling. I am going to the Dangled Duckling 2 because I don't know the difference between 2 and 1, but they look the same. And perhaps the designers made some adjustments and corrections to the original. It is by Australian 983. And I know nothing about the course other than what I've read. So is it casuals worthy is where I play test the course to see if it is worthy of inclusion in the Casuals Golf Club schedule. The Casuals Golf Club has been around since 2015, and we prefer courses that are casual friendly, well made, and easy to play. In other words, very playable. Playability follows into our thinking, as does overall course design and fun. We're here to have fun with this game, right? So we're going to give this a shot. So I've not played the course before, and we're going to see how it rolls. It is set in St Moritiz, Switzerland, so I'm looking forward to it. Looks great, and it looks like it could be tee ready. I'm not really sure. But let's get rolling. I am going from the back tees, which are playing at 7,507 yards. Wind is northeast and medium. And we are going to get rolling right now. Let's get right to the golf. All right, so we're going to have a Swiss Alps-based course. Oh, looks very nice. Again, I have not played the course. We are seeing if it is casuals worthy. That is it well made? Does the design make sense? Is it playable? And the added bonus is it big weekender worthy? Big weekender is where we have a 3-day tournament and we require tournament ready courses, what we call T-ready, crowds and crowd tournament objects, right? So let's take a look. It's a very nice picture right off the bat. There's some fog and haze going, so you can just see a hint of the mountains. Nice tree line. So we have talked about tree lines before. This is very well done. The trees are not too intrusive, it doesn't look like. So we've had some courses with trees being way too intrusive. Let's take a look down the fairway. We got a little bit of pinch about 291 right where I lay the ball out there. We got the wind in our face. So it is the northeast setting. And then let's take a look at the green. All right. So a little bit of a kind of platformish green. We're going to head that way. So we're going to aim at the right side of this fairway. Nice cart path. It's, that's a nice smooth curve. That's something that's not always well done in a lot of courses. So I definitely see some undulations. And it looks like we'll be checking out the... Oh, no. We're not going to be checking out the bunker. The bunkers look sculpted, but not entirely smooth. But the right depth. They don't look bathtubby. Taking a look over to my left right now. Could use a little bit more sculpting around the edges. It's kind of a narrow green. So we've got about $177. Now I had a bad tee shot. It's going to be hard to hold that green. So the only other thing I do know about this course, it is on the Elite Tour, I believe. So is it too difficult? Now, just because the course is well made does not mean it's going to be included in the casuals. If it's too difficult, we might have to take a pass because we look for what we call casual friendly, right? So not too difficult is the easy way of saying casual friendly. Tight pins, greens that are very sloped, severe risk and reward, courses that are too penal and not strategic or fun. It's got to be fun. So far I see this could be a little bit challenging. Given it's made it to the Elite Tour, it probably has its challenges. We play on easy settings, though. So be not afraid, folks. Settings are easy. The green speeds are not fast or firm. Lower wind speeds. That's a pretty picture right there, right? With the background, a little bit of fog and or haze. Got a medium length par 3. It's a little Eden-esque with a bunch of bunkers and that 175-yard distance, but not quite an Eden, but fairly similar looking. So I like this. So just designers, we've talked about tiers before. You don't want too many tiers or the tiers to be too severe. This is a good example of a green that's got sections, right? It's got tiers, but they're not incredibly defined. There's no red. It's a lot of newer designers. You'll see a tier red, green, tier red, and so this has got almost 3 levels and sections, but they're fairly subtle. There's kind of that upper section, that middle section, and that lower section. So I think that's pretty well done. I haven't figured out the overall slope of this course. There's no water that I can see yet, and I can't do a flyby because I'm on PlayStation, right? So you don't know the overall general layout of the course unless you've played it and or done a flyby, which I can't do. So in case you missed it, there was a little bit of news leaking this week from an earnings report that there should be a new game out soon. Just taking a look at this putt, breaks a little. So see this here, it's not too severe. It's very well done. So far, so good. But the news is from an earnings report that PGA Tour 2K25 could come out in the company's fourth quarter of 2025, which does not mean calendar fourth quarter 2025. Their fiscal year 2025, which I believe is the first calendar quarter of the year. In other words, we're looking at a new game perhaps January to March. So I give you full permission to start to get excited, but do not get too excited until you have an official announcement from the company. And quite often, it does go fast, but maybe about 2 months from the announcement, you might get a game. It's pretty cryptic and not always straightforward, but the good news is 2K25 should be on the way by spring. All right. So again, we pinch here. The fairway's cut off. Okay. Meh. I'm okay. Nothing wrong with this. Like I say, if you cut the fairway off, there should be a reason. Obviously putting some bunkering in is kind of your decision. This might play better if you had those right bunkers not there and give that space up, because that's a harder shot in, right? You really do want to carry that series of bunkers on the left, but I can't do it with the wind. But you want to give somebody the bailout to the right. If they take it, fine, but you're going to have a hard time hitting it in two. So always give the player options. Is this a bad hole? Certainly not. Would it be more fun that way? Maybe, maybe not. But, we've said all along, it's always about making it interesting, not hard. So far, so good, though. The green speed, it's 135. So the greens are not rolling particularly fast as the default setting. The planting looks real good. A very kind of natural look to it. The tree lines are pretty darn good as well. And what he's done, it looks like what he's done for these trees, right? So there's always a problem with the trees, the base of the trees, because they go into the ground and nothing happens. And it just looks very computer-y generated, right? So I tend to put grass around them. What he's done here is gotten around that by putting the mulch, which isn't a bad idea either. And then putting some plantings in the mulch. And then there's a little light rough around it too. So he's got a little light rough here. He's got light rough around the fairways, light rough connecting the holes. That's a nice touch. I do always favor light rough in this type of course. Only if you have a huge kind of linksy type course do I think it works to not have light rough. I just don't like the way it looks. Again, that's personal preference, and I'm probably on the minority there. And I know I've said that over and over again. But for a more traditional kind of course, or one might call a parkland type course, etc., U.S.-based course, country club feel, you're always going to see the light rough. If you've got a more modern linksy-doonsy, bandon-doonsy type thing, or traditional links, then sure. But make sure your fairways are sizable enough. And I know if you've been listening all along, you've heard me say that over and over again, but you never know when you have a new viewer, because thankfully, I am getting a lot of new viewers. So that's another good news. I hit over 300 subscribers just this week. And I want to say a big thank you to all of you out there. I have a great amount of fun making these videos, and I welcome your comments and feedbacks, but thanks for sticking with me and hanging in there. And the audience is growing, so please, like I said, uh, drop lines, comments. What do you want to see? Give me course recommendations. If you want me to play through your course, I'll try to do it. I think I've hit just about everybody's. But again, thank you, and please continue listening, and feel free to interact. Okay, so we got a drivable 4 because it's 30 feet downhill, and I got some wind. If I was a longer hitter, this would be easy. Obviously, I'm going to go for it here for the heck of it. Going to draw one in there, and I pushed it a little. And then we're going to check out the bunker sculpting. Yes, we will. We'll get a first-hand look at the bunker sculpting. So they are sculpted. They're not too deep. Looking pretty good. Now, this is just a kind of big bunker, and that's a big wall right there. Not much you can do about it. But again, so pay attention to the size and depth of your bunkers. I don't know if this is intentional. It might be because this is acting as a defense to a short 4. But that's a pretty big bunker wall to be over your head. Sure, you have those and you see them, but make sure that's intentional. That's a pretty big wall. I don't want to splash. I want to pitch. You know, you think about how often you're in a bunker that's over your head. Not often. Early in the days, I didn't realize how big some of my bunkers were, and I made these huge, big, deep bunkers, and it wasn't intentional. You just lose perspective sometimes if you don't really just get in there and play them. Okay, another par 4, 405, which is kind of a medium length 4, turning around the corner. A couple of odd shaped bunkers there. It's good to mix them up. Like I said, there could be a little bit more sculpting around the bunkers. It's just a little uneven and kind of flattish. You know, I've put in my other videos, I have a links bunkers videos, but the technique is the same. You know, you try to get the fuzzy donut and go up 2 or 3 inches and go around the whole thing. Just to kind of sculpt the edges of it. This looks a little uneven. It's fine. I mean, you can do that if that's the look you want. But it's just hard to pull off. Doesn't really affect playability. It's just how much time and effort do you want to put into your bunkers. Gives it kind of a realistic look, especially when you got the shadows coming from behind it, like you saw there. And it adds a little bit of depth to the bunker, and you know, helps even with the internal sculpting as well, because it pulls that side up just a little. So if you're careful and you're not going too deep with your bunkers, it can add a little bit of depth. Just a touch. I like to band the fairway around the greens. So far these are pretty good, these greens. And a little chip in, a little short game magic. Yeah, so that's a neat little trick, putting the mulch around the trees. I talked about this to Eraser Gibb, and I talked about it on his videos where his courses when I reviewed them for quick tips. You know, you got to treat the tree line usually. You can leave it, you know, but it looks better if you do something with it, and it's just kind of awkward sometimes. And again, it doesn't look terrible. It just looks, I don't know, I call it computery, right? Where the tree just kind of sits in the grass there, and it just, you know, a tree doesn't really just cut off that clearly when it goes into the ground. It spreads out. It's got a little bit of roots showing. It's a little bare, right? So I just hide that with some grasses usually. So this is a nice 5. I didn't quite have the firepower to get it around the corner and over that first fairway. Yeah, I don't know if you need that. Let's kind of go back here. I should have talked about this when I was hitting the shot. Let me go up. Just do a chip here. Not sure why you need that there, right? It's just a hard turn, and you've got 2 fairways. I get, you know, I couldn't carry that, so that kind of takes 2 shots out of play. That could be on purpose to make it a little bit more challenging, But why have that? There's really no reason that the fairway would stop there. That's not a big hill. Um, yeah, like I said, there's nothing wrong with it, but usually, try to have a reason to do that. I think it would be more interesting if you left that fairway and there was one big continuous fairway, because you could try to shape one around that corner and take a shot in from over to here, let's say, over here, right? But that's not an option, so we're going to deal with it. Right, especially when it's not really reachable from staying back there. So make sure the 3-shot hole. Okay. Oh, and I pulled it off the slope. Fasted it, pulled it a little. Now if it trickles into that light rough, that'd be neat. Stay right there. There you go. $89 up of the hill. I'm going to need a little bit of roll out of this. All right, hole 8. .226, par 3. Over some bunkers. I got the wind at my back. Do I hit it 212 and let it kind of funnel in there? Yes, I do. There's a little bit of draw. I pushed it a tad. It might work out. Give me a hop. Oh, it's going right at it. Oh, almost 2-hopped and went right in there. Some nice plantings and flowers and a arrangement over there. All right, finishing the front 9. I am 2 under. Got the wind at the back again. We're pinched at 290 again. Another heroic carry needed over a series of bunkers. 27 down and 6 miles an hour. I could do it. Of course, I fasted it, and I'm going to get lucky. Is it going to go right through that neck? It's going to settle right in that neck. How do you like that? So the course is obviously not tee ready. It looked like it could have a clubhouse and stands from the picture, but that's just a big giant clubhouse. Huge green, hitting at a 45-degree angle. Oh, get in there. He didn't hit it. All right, that's the front. Tenth hole, par 4. Again, another series of bunkers. Now that makes a little bit more sense there, right? There's a bigger hill. That's where you'd see a bifurcated fairway. Let's look at the green. You kind of want to be right in here. Gonna put a little bit of a cut on it. Let the wind take it and the slope. Some big undulations. Keeps it interesting. I am going up a club, up the hill into the wind, and I push that one too. That's what I was doing in real life towards the end of the summer, early fall. Just pushing those approaches with my irons off to the right. We've had very good weather here in the northeast of the United States, in the New England area. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's still golf season. This is late November when I'm recording. Get in. And it's raining today for the first time in it seems like 3 months. But we need it. It was getting very dry and dangerous. There were actually fire warnings. There were brush fires actually locally. This week you could smell it outside. So, much needed rain, but still warm enough to play golf. All right, 11. Ooh, this is a tight little fit. So, The greens are not as challenged as I thought they might be after that first hole. These tee shots are challenging. This is a very well done course. It is, I think, from a design standpoint, maybe a little more challenging than we're used to on casuals. So I'm getting a little concerned that this will fall into the not casuals worthy bucket. Very well done. Very interesting design. Definitely got some good replay value. I can see why this will work on the Elite Tour with our friends over at TGC Tours. The gentlemen do a great job over there. So we'll see how the rest of this goes. Okay. All right. So this one again, so a lot of these holes are just pinching kind of at that 290 mark, right? This has got some wind in my face and a center line bunker after the pinch. So it's very challenging off the tee. We play on easier swing settings, so I'm just hesitant to say this is going to work. Definitely some big slopes and challenges. I need to get up and at that hole. Hey, that's going to turn out very nice. The hills are done very nicely. So it's a well done course. Ah, whiffed. Oh, man. Back to even. All right. Let's try to get it together. Par 3, a $190. I'd say it's Redani, but it's going the wrong way, right? Because the Redan goes. So, just so you know, anybody new to golf architecture, Redan is a hole. It's about 200, 210 yards, a par 3 that goes on a 45-degree angle from the tee. But the high point is the back right corner, and it goes down to the front left. And it's got a series of bunkers in the front, just like this. So, this is very Redanish, but the slope is going away from you. A Redan will go, I'll put a graphic on that way, down towards, from top right to bottom left. About 200, 210 yards, but still a decent hole. Some folks might not like the green going away from you there, because that's a bit of a tight fit. Especially on the left side of the green there. We got some street lights. Maybe play a little night golf. I like those flower pots. Okay, 14. 291, another heroic kind of carry here. 37 feet down. I got in the wind. You betcha I'm going for that. We've got some lights very close to the course there. I haven't noticed those before. I'm not sure if they were on other holes. But that is interesting, huh? Not sure why he's got those there. Okay, so let's keep rolling. This I'll be able to get there. We're going up 8 feet. Just going to put a little loft and a little spin on it, because that might go through. We got the wind in the face. We've got a little bit of a tight squeeze there in the center line bunker. Not a ton of room. Let's take a look at the green. Square green. That's interesting. I like that. Yeah, so this has got some serious Rainer-esque features to it. I'm starting to realize. It's dawned on me. Until now. Not sure if that was an influence for this designer. But I think Got to add a little. It's a little uphill slope. We're going to add a little loft. A little spin. Not bad. Ooh, nice background there. $16. All right, this is a little bit simpler tee shot than we've seen. A little bit of a slope that's going to help you take it off that left side. Bigger green. Fairly accessible pin location. And I block it right. I slow it. Are you kidding? Come on, Gare. Into a little ravine on the side. That's a nice touch. I kind of like that. And I am on the path. It's not impacting too much. Let's see. And I slowed that one. And into the bunker. Alright, so let's get up there. Get it. Oh, didn't release at all. 20 feet for the par. Okay, final par 3. 154. Actually pretty flat. Looks uphill, but that's actually flat. Series of bunkers. Okay, not a ton to this. We're going to go back. Club. And I got a little bit of a backboard there, but it does not hold up. We got to just put that one right there. And get little tapman. All right, let's see at 18 if I could bring it home and get myself back to even. Pretty scene there. Not that bad. We got some water. Of course, now you've got that. Look at that slope going off to the side. So that's what makes this a little challenging and tending to the not casual friendly side of the equation, but pretty scene off the tee. Just great job with the planning, the tree work, and the scenery. Pretty good stuff. This is not as difficult a tee shot as most of the others. Put a little cut on it. A perfecto. Big long green. I got a downhill slope, so I'm going to add some loft. Ooh, a little bit of slope there. Just missed. Look at that planning. Really nice. All right. And there you got some ducks. Well, if you're gonna have a course named after ducks and called the Dangled Duckling, you better have some ducks in the pond. So, great job, Australian 983 with the Dangled Duckling. Enjoyed it. It is a well done course and certainly worthy of a play. But the verdict is, it is not casuals worthy. It is not casuals friendly. I'm going to have to say we are going to pass for inclusion in the casuals, but I highly recommend it for anybody else's society that likes a challenging course, or if you want a fun round with friends, I think it would be a great place for a match. So it is a good course, but we're going to say this is the first one I reviewed that is not casuals worthy. Not that it is not a quality course. It just might be too much on the challenging side. So awesome course. Check it out. And I want to say once again, thank you all for watching. 300 subscribers. That's awesome. Let's keep rolling. So thank you for tuning in today. We will be back with more casual tips. Is it casuals? Quick tips? You name it. Playthroughs. All right. So that's all for today. We will see you real soon. Bye for now.